welcome to another edition of The Journey. Hey, with interest rates going up and CD rates and money market rates and savings rates going up, I want to talk a little bit about the risk-reward spectrum, what risk premium is, and a little bit about why an investor wants to own multiple asset classes. So let me share my screen here. Over the last 10, 15 years, investors have been paid really next to nothing for cash. And in our investment world, we would call that a risk-free asset. So there's no risk in holding cash as far as risk of loss. Obviously, we all know there's risk in holding cash, and what that risk is the cost of living, right? So if I've held cash in an account for 15 years, the cost of food, gas, clothing, all those things have gone up while the cash that I've held has not. Obviously, over the last few years, CD rates have been around 1%. Bond rates over time have been in that 3% range. You get into high yield bonds or more risky bonds, you're in a 4 to 5% range. People who own property, should expect to get 5 to 6% in that type of environment on their property. And then we have blue chip stocks, which are your large core stocks of the world. And then your growth stocks, which in today's world, we would really say that they're probably like tech stocks, right? So that's what things have looked like over the last 10 to 15 years. Now, we are in an environment now where we've seen the cash rates go up, the CD rates go up, the bond value or the bond interest rates going up, property going up, blue chip stocks and growth stocks maybe lagging behind a little bit. And as an investor, what I just want to remind you is this: if we can get 5% in the money market, 5% in the CD, 5 to 6% in bonds, maybe 7% in high yield bonds, and all the way up. If we can expect to get that 5%, 4 to 5% in a risk-free asset, investors also want to get paid a risk premium to own things like growth stocks and blue chip stocks. Now, obviously, 2022, 2021, and 2020 were very volatile years. We've seen COVID, we've seen the markets have a huge influx of inflation and all those different rates. 2020 and 2021, the market really went up large. 2022, it kind of fell back to earth a little bit. But if we look at the market over time, and again, things are going to go up and down, but if we look at it over time, we should expect as an investor to receive on that risk spectrum a risk premium that paying us for the risk that we're taking. So I just want to remind you of that it's not a 1 year, 2 year, 5 year spectrum. I mean, we look at this thing over sometimes decades. Now, what that reminds us is this: as investors, we want to own different assets, right? Especially if I'm retiring or near retirement, I do want to hold, cash and CDs that are paying me a fair amount now to hold them. I want to hold some bonds to create some income. I want to diversify with some property if that's part of my portfolio, if I'm comfortable with that. But we also have the idea that 5, 10, or even many more years from now, I will still need my money to grow because God willing, I'll be here. Or if I'm not here, if the money's not for me, the money can grow for my children. So even if we're into retirement or near retirement, we still want to own different assets out on the spectrum. We don't want to just put everything under our pillow and hope we can still get 5% on CDs 5 years from now. So again, there's a lot of things that we talk about with clients, owning different assets and asset classes and really tying your money to when you're going to need it is one of the core conversations that we have, specifically when people are nearing or in retirement. I hope that's helpful. Continue to follow us on the YouTube page. Just subscribe and you'll see these videos and different videos that we've created over the past couple of years. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call or reach out, and we'll be happy to have these conversations with you. Have a great month.